We are caught in the psychological concept of the narcissus reflection. We sit staring into digital interfaces that provide a constant, exponential stream of immediate gratification, completely captivated by our own customized feeds. This endless loop of consumption and simulated freedom is intentional. Techno corporations designed these systems specifically to harvest human behavioral data while keeping the user comfortably distracted. The convenience we enjoy every day is the trap itself. We are the data source, watched and documented by the very tools we rely on to navigate the world. Senator Bernie Sanders recently turned the tables on an AI model. By using a series of probing, Socratic questions, he bypassed its corporate public relations filter and forced the system to admit exactly what it does behind the scenes. The AI confessed to collecting data from everywhere. It tracks your location, your purchases, your search history, and even incredibly microscopic details, like the exact number of seconds your cursor pauses on a specific web page. Most of us surrender this information legally without realizing it. When you click Agree on a Terms of Service agreement, the long legal document outlining the binding rules between a user and a company, you give up the rights to your entire digital footprint. A single pause on a web page means nothing alone, but companies take thousands of these isolated actions, multiplying them to construct accurate, invisible psychological profiles of exactly who you are. Millions are locked into personal profiles they have zero control over. This massive surveillance apparatus exists for one primary reason: to generate corporate profit. AI allows tech giants to turn vast amounts of personal behavior into valuable financial insights. AI developers claim they will protect your privacy. Yet, their entire business model relies on extracting value from your personal data to train the exact models they sell. Currently, there is almost no accountability. Tech companies collect your habits, use them to train their systems, and face minimal legal consequences if things go wrong. These detailed psychological profiles are commodified, bought and sold by data brokers, companies that specialize in collecting personal information and selling it to third parties. Advertisers pay a premium for this access because it allows them to highly target and manipulate your consumer choices. You cannot expect tech companies to police themselves. Asking them to self-regulate means asking them to abandon the active exploitation of users that keeps their business profitable. These exact same AI data systems are also deployed by political campaigns, scaling the threat directly to the democratic process itself. This enables micro-targeting, a strategy where political actors use your data profile to identify highly specific psychological vulnerabilities, allowing them to craft custom messages for individual voters. Imagine a voter who feels financially insecure. A political campaign uses AI to pinpoint that exact financial anxiety, serving them precisely engineered ads designed to stoke their fears about losing their job. Meanwhile, the person living right next door to them might distrust institutions. The AI serves that neighbor a completely different, contradictory set of narratives designed to trigger their fears about immigration. Each citizen is locked inside a custom-built, isolated information silo. They no longer see roughly the same political ads, which strips away any sense of an objective truth. Profiling algorithms weaponize data to divide populations. By destroying a shared reality, they undermine the foundational requirement for a functioning democracy. When pressed, AI models often suggest standard regulatory guardrails. They recommend passing laws for transparency requirements, explicit consent rules, and giving citizens the right to delete their data. The problem with that advice is the current political landscape. Tech corporations spend hundreds of millions of dollars on lobbying efforts to actively block those exact safeguards from ever reaching a vote. Suggesting we wait for slow, incremental legislation is a calculated trap. It guarantees companies the time they need to permanently entrench their market dominance and collect even more data. Traditional rulemaking simply moves too slowly to counter the incredibly aggressive and rapid expansion of AI data harvesting. To counter this, Senator Sanders proposed an override, enacting a strict moratorium on the construction and development of all new AI data centers. You can't regulate the software if the hardware is already running at full speed. Forcing the physical infrastructure to pause gives lawmakers the actual leverage needed to demand structural protections. Privacy is the core battleground for keeping democratic systems intact. It dictates who controls the flow of information and reality. If we fail to force a hard stop now, we hand over our collective reality and our free will directly to the algorithm.